We often hear that our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, and yet we also know that the way to a slimmed down and healthier waistline is through portion control, that dirty little phrase. So how do we reconcile our desires and our needs? Here to bring us some practical and visual advice for portion management is Dana Angelo White, registered dietitian and host of the Conscious Cooking Series, Healthy and Fast, on foodnetwork.com. Great to have you here.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I could spend hours with you talking about this. Because
this is fun.
Food and portion control, it's never going to go away, right?
It isn't. And it's a really good way to kind of keep your healthy diet in check. But who has time to weigh and measure everything? So this is a kind of a fun way to use household items to help you figure out what a good portion size should be.
So we start out with chicken. Can't go wrong with chicken ever, can you?
Right, and any type of lean protein.
Yes.
Okay, so when you're talking about a serving of chicken,
yes,
we have beautiful grilled chicken right here. It's about 3 ounces, deck of cards is the proper portion size.
Now let me ask you this, is this about the size of like a chicken breast you might buy in the grocery, or is this smaller still?
It depends. It's probably a little bit smaller. I mean,
yeah,
I've seen some chicken breasts that may be 7 or 8 ounces.
Yeah.
But this is, after it's cooked, 3 ounces, that's a proper portion. And it doesn't just have to be chicken. It could be lean beef, it can be fish, things like that. Any type of lean protein that's low in fat.
Deck of cards.
Deck of cards, or even like a PDA.
Yes.
Is another kind of similar size thing. So I know this looks kind of lonely by itself,
yeah,
but go to foodnetwork.com. There's lots of fun, interesting recipes to make it more exciting. Just the lean protein, 3 ounces is a good portion.
But good to know, because I do feel like most are a little bit bigger than that.
Exactly.
Definitely bigger portions on every plate when it comes to pasta than this. Tell us about this.
So pasta or rice, any type of cooked grain.
Okay.
And I expect you just got to be cooked. So this is a cup of cooked pasta.
Wow.
It's about the same size as a tennis ball.
I don't know if I've ever eaten that little pasta ever.
Most of the time, people at least double or even triple this portion.
Easily.
So the thing is that this is about 200 calories right here. So you add maybe some lean protein, some vegetables, maybe some beans. You can make a more well-rounded meal and maybe not feel so cheated that you're not getting enough. The other tip is choose the whole grain version.
Yeah.
Okay, because it has more fiber, it has more protein, and it's going to keep you more satisfied. So maybe it'll make that cup look a little bit more appealing. You get a little bit more out of it.
The great thing is they have that whole grain in every variety of pasta now, so
right.
It's great.
And same thing for rice, pasta, rice, anything like that. Any nice, whole grain, any grain in general, you want about a cup for your portion.
Good. Lots of options there.
Yeah.
Peanut butter. Love peanut butter. Can't go wrong with peanut butter. But share with us a fact of how many peanuts are ground up in that jar.
It's somewhere about 850 to 1,000 peanuts in a jar.
That was such a shocker for me visually.
So when you think about it, you really want to be careful. It's healthy fat.
Yes.
I love peanut butter, but when you make that sandwich, you don't want 6 inches of standing peanut butter on your sandwich. You want 2 tablespoons or about a ping pong ball.
Yeah, which is not a lot.
No, it's not. It's a healthy fat. You just have to keep it, have a light smear on a piece of bread with an apple, some celery sticks, something like that would be, a better way to have your peanut butter and not feel like you're not getting enough.
Got you. Have to restrict, you stick the spoon in the peanut butter and you just lick it all night long.
Yeah,
and how many times have you gone in?
One good scoop with a spoon, that would be about it.
Perfect. Vegetables.
Yes.
Can we go wrong with portion control on vegetables?
You can't. I think where most people get hung up is that the recommendation is 5 to 9 servings a day for fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
That seems daunting.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot. But when you see that a portion is a half cup, about a baseball size, that's not all that much. So I think it makes that 5 to 9 servings a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, definitely.
And as far as, the calorie count, you're not looking at anything too crazy. There's tons of nutrients, all different colors, different nutrients. So getting lots of different vitamins. So you can't really go wrong with the portions of
But
vegetables.
good to know. It makes it much more tangible to do 5, 6, 7 servings when it's that small.
Yeah, you have a big salad, you'll have more than half of that right there.
Perfect. Okay. Dried fruit.
Yes.
This is it?
That's it.
A golf ball size.
Yes, it's a quarter cup, believe it or not.
Wow.
The reason is really, there's a lot healthy, dried fruit is very healthy.
Yeah.
Lots of good nutrients going on. There's iron, there's fiber. The thing is that the calories are concentrated because the water is removed.
So it's all shrunk down.
Exactly. Like this right here, this is a half of an apricot, that one little piece.
This little thing right here
is
1/2 of the entire apricot.
Yes. So it's more satisfying than you might think. So stick with the quarter cup, about the golf ball size portion, and you should be fine after that.
Yeah, because
you really should.
We talked about it when you buy it in the local grocery mart or whatever, those little single packs. Those aren't single servings, are they?
They're usually bigger. So the idea is here, you know, it's great to fight like a sweet craving. That concentrated calories, it makes them nice and sweet. So, you know, it's kind of like a little, you know, maybe substitute for candy.
Yes.
You don't really need all that much.
Yes. No, good to know. Boy, half an apricot, you got me convinced on that one. Now, I thought potatoes were gone. White baked potatoes, I thought we were done with them. They weren't nutritious.
No, they are very nutritious.
They are.
I love potatoes. Potatoes got such a bad reputation. They're back, thankfully. So portion-wise, you're looking about a computer mouse. That is about a small to a medium-sized potato.
Yeah.
It's about 100 to 150 calories right there. The thing that people forget about potatoes, potatoes have tons of vitamin C. They're actually an excellent source of vitamin C. 30% of your daily needs for vitamin B6. There's potassium in there for your muscles. There's so many nutrients going on in potatoes that you want to work them back into.
So you want to work them back in, but definitely small ones, because we've seen potatoes 3 times that size.
They can get huge. So maybe split it with somebody else in the family. Maybe 2 big ones could serve 4 people. You know, but that's a decent sized potato right there. And then the toppings. Don't go nuts with sour cream, things like that. That's where the calories come in.
Yeah.
Some salsa, some Greek yogurt and chives, Parmesan cheese and black pepper, something like that. Make it a little interesting.
Nice.
Delicious.
Perfect. All right. Cheese. I love cheese, and we're rolling the dice on this one, and I don't like what I see. I'm going to be honest with you.
All right. So this is about an ounce of cheese.
Wow.
Okay. And that's considered a serving. So recommendations for dairy are about 3 servings a day. So right here you get 1 serving of dairy, about 20% of your daily calcium needs, which is good too.
Wow.
So it's about the size of 6 dice. So that's about an ounce. Maybe you get away with an ounce and a half, something like that. That's, you know, what you want to keep in check.
But that's it, 1 serving.
That's 1 serving.
Real quick, we just have a few seconds. You can moderate these depending on the person.
Absolutely, absolutely. Some people need more calories. You need more servings of these foods. Absolutely. Something that might be appropriate for me wouldn't be inappropriate for an active, you know, an athlete, a guy, things like that.
Good stuff.
As
much as I hate to admit it, it's good stuff. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And if you want more information, don't forget to check out foodnetwork.com, and of course, visit our health page at abcnews.com.